Hey everyone, and welcome to another video. So Immortal is a epic historical fantasy romance, and it is my best, my biggest, my most ambitious project that I've ever worked on. It is the longest book I've ever written, and I've been working on it for years, and it's the biggest one because it has companion books and a TV series scripts I've been writing. It is essentially my book baby, even beyond my debut novel, which was Hunter. And so I spent a lot of time editing and working on this even before I sent it to my editor. So shout out to H.A. Pruitt, who helped me edit this book. And so this is the vlog series as I edited Immortal. So yeah, it's a very long process. I hope you'll stick with me through the series. It was definitely really fun because I was like editing what my editor had said. I was editing for myself and the story and all the developmental stuff. I was historically fact checking. There's one section in here where I was also checking, a Japanese friend of mine had beta read the Japanese section, so I was watching for all that stuff. So I was pretty overwhelmed, but this is so fun, and I hope you guys are going to really enjoy this. So yeah, stick with me, and I hope you really enjoy this. Hey everyone, so it's possibly day 28 of editing Immortal, and I say possibly because I started my me time around my normal time. It was like 7 something, and I didn't feel like writing in the Tides of War. I explained in that vlog, which if it's out by the time this video comes out, I'll put it as a card, but essentially I felt like just having personal time to just sit down and not feel obligated to write or edit or do one thing over the other, as a lot of this year has been just that, where I've been editing for clients, for myself, writing, and so it's rare when I took a night off just to kind of mess around and do what I want. And so I didn't write in the Tides of War, and I ended up actually just submitting a bunch of job requests on Upwork. But since I've had this time, it's basically, well, before I get into that, it is 9:58, so it's 10 o'clock, which is normally the time I would start editing for Immortal. And in the time that I've had, I realized the drama going on that I can't talk about, which I briefly mentioned in that one, just the same thing that I can't talk about it, and then some financial issues that have come up is stressing me out. And I think that's the primary thing that's going on with me, why I can't concentrate on my work. One of the things that I wanted to do instead of writing in the Tides of War tonight, my messing around, if you will, is just creating in this new world and this new project that has been coming to my mind lately. And when I sat down to try to work on that, financial issues came up and I just couldn't work on it, and I ended up just trying to get jobs on Upwork basically. And so with all of this in mind, I think I'm stressed, and I'm literally on the verge of tears right now. I don't know why, like, it's stressful, but it shouldn't be. I mean, it is stressful, but it's like I should have myself under control. I shouldn't let it get to me, yada yada. So all of that to say, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know if I'm going to be editing Immortal or not. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing or anything. I just, this whole, I'm going to talk about it a little bit more on here because this is Immortal, which is part of the Valiant series. So right now, due to the fact that my designer quit on me, I obviously had to find a new one, and I'm really happy with the covers and the way things are going. The problem is that I only have enough money for the main books in the series to get redone. And people may be wondering, why do you have to get it redone? Why can't the new designer just do what the old designer was doing? And it's complicated. There's rights to images, there's rights to fonts, and new designers don't have that, and so they'd have to buy the rights, and it gets very complicated when you're talking about resources that one designer has gathered up that another designer does not have. And so because my designer quit on me, it forced me to think about getting the covers redone, and with that in mind, I was able to ask honest feedback about them and realize that my designer did not know what she was doing, and they're not professional. They weren't in the right genre. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what to specify for. It's just a big mess, and essentially, I did find a new designer, but as I was saying, I only have enough money for the main books in the series, which means the Valiant shorts are going to be left undone, which is fine because I was thinking about taking them down because nobody's buying them anyway, and I think it's the way that I was marketing them. So while I would love to get them done and put them back up and clarify that they are just post-credit scenes like Marvel to set up future storylines, the best thing to do is to take them down. The problem is that I can't control the audiobooks because I'm doing royalty share, which means the audiobooks are going to stay up there, which means I need at least audiobook covers for the Valiant shorts. So those are going to be the old covers because I can't afford to get them done. And Bound, I did not actually pay my old designer to do Bound with the person on the cover. I have the ebook cover for it. I have, you know, all the shorts, but I did not get the audiobook version, which is a little smaller, and it's not as easy as, oh, just resize it. That's not how that works. So my old designer refused because she's quit. And it just launched into this whole ordeal where I'm out a lot of money. I realized that there are paperbacks that I paid for that I have not received due to the fact that I don't have the final files and won't because I'm still working on the series. I can't give you what I don't have. Like, I have written files, but it's not the same size, so it's pointless anyway. And with all of this in mind, like, I'm out so much money because she quit, and I realized that she also did the Calamity's Hope books, Volcano, Earthquake, and Wildfire. Over here somewhere, I've got proof copies sitting there. So I'm gonna have to get those redone in order to get designs for new books in that one. Fortunately, that series I haven't written any new books, so I don't have to worry about it as much. So basically my series is gonna have half new covers, half old covers. The audiobooks are still gonna be up even though I want to take the new audiobooks down. I'm working with a new designer, and I was trying to figure out a way to make the audiobook covers myself, based on the files that they do create with the ebook. And it's just a mess. And then on top of that, having financial trouble, which kind of factors into it because I need covers done and obviously can't blah, blah, blah. So, and then, the new project I was going to work on, I wanted to create some creatures and things, and I like working with Lexica to generate images, and I like working on World Anvil to create a map that you can click on things in the map and go to the location and write about your world, and it's just so much fun. And so my creativity was zapped because I'm on the free plan and they, you know, block certain features, and I don't know if I have the money for a plan right now, and so I couldn't do the creative project that I wanted to, that was kind of like I'm gonna immerse myself in this, forget about my stresses. So I couldn't do that either, and so it just left me desperate and searching Upwork for jobs. And so basically I didn't get to relax tonight at all, and I think I'm more stressed now than I was earlier when I vlogged and said I wasn't gonna write in the Tides of War. So it leaves me right now not knowing what I'm going to do. I may not even air all of this. I may just cut part of it out or do a fast where I'm talking really fast, like a montage type thing, but I don't know. So yeah, that's all I got. I'll just check in with you guys if I do something productive. Hey everyone! So it's officially day 28 of editing Immortal, because I am going to edit it tonight. So it's 10:05 and it's December 7th, which reminds me of December 7th, 1941, Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, which is today, which reminds me of Immortal because that actually is a thing in Immortal, and I love learning about Pearl Harbor and World War II and everything that the men went through when they were attacked, and World War II and how it changed everything. But that's kind of a random thing. So needless to say, I'm feeling much better, much more like writing, and I wasn't as bummed out after all my, you know, bad rants and stuff yesterday. So I apologize for that emotional video if I did include it. If not, I probably deleted, you know, that part. But I did do my writing today, and I'm very excited, so I'm going to go ahead and start editing Immortal. And yeah, I'm just going to start editing Immortal. I think true to my what is that called? True to my routine lately, I'm gonna get me some hot chocolate, and it actually is pretty chilly in here, so I've got my long sleeve. I normally don't wear a long sleeve, so I'm actually pretty excited about this shirt because I don't ever get to wear it until the winter time because I'm you know, I don't like wearing it, you know, when it's not winter. But anyway, so I get to drink some hot chocolate, and we're starting the Shinsengumi arc. And because the last time I edited, I got him to Japan, so I'm literally starting off from when he gets to Japan. So I was debating how best to handle this, because we did talk a lot, and this era is so long that my editor and I broke it down by category. So the political structure, the culture, yada yada. I don't remember all the categories that we used, but we broke it down into categories basically to help us like talk about each category and edit the big picture. Basically we were able to discuss all of the issues in each category to help us break it down. If not, it would have just been one giant mess of a bunch of stuff. So essentially, typically I read through an era, and then I listen to the recordings and go back and make sure that I edited all of it and addressed all of it. However, I'm not sure if that's the best way to handle things, because it's so big, it's so long, that one, my computer actually does lag sometimes with it. But two, what was I saying? My computer lags if I try to scroll up and down too fast, if I'm not just like, you know, editing line by line or whatever. And so trying to go back up to address issues like I did in the 1580s, I found out that that causes a lag and creates a little bit of a problem. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can only imagine the problems that is going to cause in the 1860s. So I'm still not quite sure how to handle the discussions and big picture stuff. If I should, I'm leaning more toward editing it as I go. The problem is that while we labeled them categorically, we didn't like, there's no way to know if, okay, like we're talking about the political thing overall, the whatever overall, like the categories overall, and not just like in order. So, excuse me, not exactly sure how to go about this, but I'm sure as I'm editing, I'll kind of figure it out. I know doing it that way really worked well with this is what I'm starting off done, so hopefully the stack will grow bigger and bigger and bigger as I edit more. I know that strategy did work well for the opening scene, since it was like a thing by itself in the United States and why he leaves it, and that worked well to just edit that and treat that as its own thing. So I don't know if I should treat each category as its own thing, do multiple passes, like I don't know, I haven't decided. And then I know one of the big picture things is, again, a particular character's role in this arc, similar to the last one, pretty much the exact same problem but in different ways, and that's going to require actually a lot more scenes added and rewritten and reworked with this character's role, but in a much bigger scale than with the 1580s Japan. So that's going to require some thought as well. And then there's the idea that some of this may need to be cut. I don't remember what things we talked about, so it's a lot to take in. I'm just going to get started editing. I think it's best if I just read through it and edit it, all of the stuff that's written for me to change, as well as all of the stuff that I see, because I'm still seeing stuff as I fact check, and then it may be easier to go back through it a second time after I listen to the recordings and take notes on what I still haven't addressed and what else needs to be changed and like what needs to be added and stuff like that. And another thing that I may do is read my editor's comments overall at the end. That is not the end. My editor's comments overall maybe will help. So we'll see what happens, and I will check in with you guys when I figure all this out and when I have my hot chocolate. You can hear the microwave rattling with my hot chocolate, but I did actually find the reason why I couldn't find my editor's overall notes was because I was a couple pages ahead, and so the whole arc, like, it's a couple pages longer, and so she wrote the notes couple pages before that. Basically what I'm trying to say is I found her overall notes. So what I'm going to do is start off reading those notes, because those will have the overview of what we talked about, and that'll remind me what we talked about, and I know what to look for and can address her big comments there, which should take care of most of the problem. And then when I'm done, I can go through our recordings and address any additional issues that I did not remember to deal with, essentially. So I think that may be the best way to go about doing this. Also, since it is Christmas, I thought I would give you guys Christmas tree vibes. So enjoy this little Christmas montage. Okay, so after reading the overall thoughts, I think what may be best is for me to go over and review the recordings that we discussed and remember what we decided I should do. That way I can just do it all at once and do it the right way as I read, because I edit better as I'm reading. As I'm reading the story as I go. It was very difficult for me to make a few last minute changes with the 1580s Japan after I read it. And those were just a few minor things. Like, it was like one word here and there. These are going to be such big changes that I'm going to have to do them as I go. That would be much better. So I think I'm going to listen to the recordings, and tonight I may not actually get to editing, but hopefully I'll get to edit at least like a page or two. But my goal is just to listen to the recordings and take notes and have me like a note thing on what I'm supposed to be doing, and what we decided I should do in the recordings, because I absolutely need to know that before I even delve into this. So I'm going to do that, and yeah, I'll check in with you guys when I have some progress made. Hey guys, so it is still day 28 of editing Immortal. I don't know what day it is, but it's 2:12 a.m. and it's technically the 8th, but it's the 7th of December for me still. So since I last vlogged, I listened to the recordings. I literally was cooking dinner and my husband walked in and I paused it, and then we had dinner, and then I was right back listening and have been for the last hour. So it's been several hours, and I just now got done with all the recordings and I listened to everything. So I took notes. So basically that I can refer to these notes as I go. This is a bullet list of everything that I need to remember, everything I need to do and change and address as I go through the Shinsengumi arc. I ran out of room and I want to be able to see the pages. So I was like, instead of turning the page on the notebook and me having to flip back and forth, I was going to use sticky notes and just post them everywhere. But I thought it would be easier to get a piece of paper and just stick them on there, because I was like, I really want a cork board, but I don't have a spare cork board. So I'm using a piece of paper so that way these can sit in separate places where I can like look at them as I'm editing, which I'll figure out when I'm actually doing that. So the other decision that I made is that before I start editing this arc, I need to know more about the characters, because I didn't describe their appearances very well with some of the side characters. It's a huge group in the Shinsengumi. There's like a lot of captains and stuff that all became really, really close friends. And so the main guys I kind of got covered, but the other side guys I didn't. And then making it more personal is one of the big critiques of this one, so that like we understand how it personally affected them, as opposed to just reading like a history textbook. So I'm doing research, and that's why I've got, like, you can see I've got a gazillion tabs open, and I'm downloading files for Valiant series and other stuff, so I don't want to leave this page. But I'm doing research on all the main captains. I've got a couple timelines of the Shinsengumi timeline pulled up. I found one, and I had a bunch, and I had tons of research when I wrote this, but that's been years ago, so like I didn't save any of that stuff. But it's pretty simple to find that stuff again, so I've got all the timelines pulled up just so I can fact check as I go the dates, especially death dates and battle dates and dates that major political events happened. And the one that I actually found, I wish I could show you guys, because you guys can't actually read from here, but I may be able to show you the picture when this is done downloading. This one actually has personal information about them, like when certain guys had a certain job, whenever this character got married, whenever this character had a kid, and I didn't even know that character had a kid. And so for me, it's like, oh, that's going to be fun to include that information as we go. And then remembering the character that I have to change their role, basically just including them in the story. So they enter in sooner and they're involved longer. And then, so I got to adjust that, and my main villain being more prevalent a little bit, and then some other notes and stuff. So basically I have an idea of what I need to work on. And so I listened to the recordings, I took notes, I know what I'm looking for. The next thing I want to know is I want to have the timeline easy to pull up as I'm editing, so that I can fact check as I go. Like, oh, something happens here, like, what's the date? You know, does that make sense? Does it line up? To make it simple. And then the next thing I need to know tonight before I start full on editing this is I want to know everything there is to know about the main characters and come up with their appearance and their story, so that way I can include that and write that and let that bleed into my writing. So I may make a document and just write all that down real quick, based on the research and stuff that I find. So yeah, that's everything, and I'll let you guys know when I do that. It's 2 o'clock, so in the morning, 2:16 actually, so I want to get this done because I'm tired and it's been long and stuff, but I've been taking in information and writing notes and just figuring out what I need to do. So yeah, it's important stuff to get done, and I'll let you guys know when I get that done. Hey guys, so it's still day 28, and I'm counting this as the day that I edited because of everything that I did, listening to recordings, research, compiling a thing. So I actually found a book that somebody wrote about the Shinsengumi, and I didn't read through all of it because it's very, very long. But I read through the beginning where they're introducing everybody and picked up all the information that I needed from the main captains. Some of them didn't have appearances. I found pictures for some of them so I can kind of get the gist of what they did look like and kind of do my own creative freedom a little bit. But I have the information I need to kind of formulate my own creative input, because while being factually accurate with what we do know, it's just we don't know that much detail about some of them. So basically I've got all the information. I've got all of the, what is it called? All of the research, everything compiled. And I'm going to sift through it another day because it's 2:57 a.m. in the morning and I'm done. I'm done. So I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Like I'm done. I'm tired. Hey guys, so I don't think it's going to be day 28 or 29 of editing Immortal. I don't know yet. Basically overnight my throat just started hurting really bad, so I'm basically sick. I don't feel very well. I have a headache that's kind of coming and going. On top of all of that, my IBS kicked in. It is 7 o'clock and it's December 8th. So I am for sure not going to write in the Tides of War. I'm not even going to vlog about it because my throat hurts, so I'm not going to vlog very much either because, again, throat hurts. So I'm into Immortal as a whole, and last night even when I went to relax, like part of my relaxing time was reading the Lost Journal, so I may do that a little more. And work on the TV show a little bit. Honestly, I just want to sit down and relax, so it's okay to skip nights. It's okay to take a break, especially when I'm sick and not feeling well, but I was really looking forward to working on Immortal, so I'm a little disappointed, but you know, what can you do? And it's important to give myself rest and a break when I need it, especially with my IBS. It's just, I can't just sit in one place. That's not how IBS works. If you don't know what that is, you can Google it. So I don't know. That's all I got for you guys. So hopefully we'll have day 29 soon. I do have most of the resources I need gathered. And on the appearances, other than what they really look like, I'm going to have the pictures, and the rest I'm just going to improvise as I read and as I edit. So that's really all I can do. But even now my throat's already hurting really bad just in this short time. So I'm just going to relax and watch YouTube and see what happens and go from there. So thank you guys so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, please be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more writing and reading videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Liking my videos really helps push these videos into the algorithm. That's the way the algorithm works, so I appreciate every one of you who like these videos and watch them and stick with me. And in the meantime, if you liked this episode in the vlog series, then check out the next one. It'll be up as a premiere unless you're already watching this after it's out, but either way, check it out. You don't want to miss it. This super, super exciting stuff.